but no, this is the first one we've tried recording remotely. It's not as fun. No whiskey involved, and so
The whiskey's right there. So I can
yeah,
have
for you, I have a root beer over there anyway.
we
No,
also have this nice fancy one here. This
what was that again?
17-year-old Bunhanian.
Oh,
It's like
got it.
spec or something.
So, oh yeah, no. So the last time we stopped, it was funny. They got out of order on the release, and so they put the warehouse after the building a booth. So we ended up
okay.
building a booth is where we ended. That was in 2022.
Wow.
Urtech that year.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, this year is 2026 now, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny. I just
the other day.
Yeah, I don't know how or what was I looking at? And I think that's when one of my daughters came out of pre-K. So I was looking at like pictures from 2022. I was like, wow, that kind of seems like forever ago.
I know. And time moves fast, always moves fast. It just keep moving faster anyway. It's so yeah, in the last one we talked about building a booth. I did watched it again. We called the top 5 cool things we did. And I agree with that. I still think we just used this booth a few months ago at NAPE.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we keep getting compliments on it. I don't know if people are seeing it for the first time or what, but it's cool.
Yeah, I think so. I think you get different eyes each time, and it's still really striking just because it's so different from everything else that's out there.
I know, and it's all. I guess it's not peculiar that no one else has done anything like it because it's not quick and easy. It's not just like click a button and order it from somebody. You have to actually put effort into it. That's our motto. We try harder. So no, we ended it. We talked about the booth, and then I immediately went to and then the next year it was in Denver, and we were like, we're not moving that booth to Denver.
Oh yeah, no, that would be painful to move that far in a truck, and no.
Yeah. So that was cool because we were like, how can we make a poor man's version of this booth in Denver?
A lightweight version, right? Non-backbreaking.
Yeah, well, that, and we had to get it all there. And so it was like, it must be made to look similar, and every item must be able to be drop shipped directly to the convention center.
And if you remember, nothing was drop shipped, or not all of it.
Oh, well.
I had to rent a van and run all around Denver to the IKEA to get those.
Was that our fault, or
I can't remember. I think there was a miscommunication. I think that they basically had told us they were going to be drop shipped or something. And then they're like, wait, no, we don't ship these or something like that. So then last minute we rented that van,
like a will call situation.
Right.
Yeah, and that was you had to drive around all day, like literally from like 10 a.m. Of course we're at in Denver, so we're out of town. We're not like I don't know. We just leisurely like, oh, this is what we're doing today. So we kind of stroll in at 9 or 10 and like, all right, we'll just knock this out. And then all of a sudden you're like running around all day long.
All day. Yeah. I can't even remember. I feel like there was more than just the IKEA run.
Yeah. Nope. There were like 5 different places you ended up going.
That's what I thought. Yeah. And it was for different stuff, I guess, to make it all happen. But it worked. It ended up just being my job to help out for the day. Was just cruising around in the van. So
yeah, and I can't tell you if that's the good job or the bad job. I'm just not sure, to be perfectly honest. But that was a fun time. We had just hired some people, and we were we made a thing out of it, and we've done that since. Every year we've had all of our team together wherever, it's been at Urtech or just a few weeks ago or a couple months ago now in NAPE, we all got together. So that was it's a lot of fun to do that. It's a good reason to do it too, to get together and do that. But yeah, that was also where Jerry got shot at. Not really, but kind of. That was crazy.
Yeah. In his general direction, that was crazy. I mean, we all kind of were in danger in the that whole walk back from the dinner that one time.
Danger. That's questionable. So for the story, guys, in Urtech of 23, it was in Denver, and the Denver Nuggets won the NBA championship while Urtech was going on, and so we were not paying that close attention to it. And we had gone out for like just a team dinner, and then we got in a Uber to get back to our kind of suite that we had rented, and we couldn't get back because all the roads were blocked off. And I still to this, I don't know, is that a normal celebration for people whenever their basketball team wins NBA championship? Because it was ridiculous. Every road, people were stopped. People were dancing on cars. They would start shooting fireworks out of cars, and that transitioned into guns out of cars. So it's
I just remember the Uber driver's like, all right, we can't go any farther. Y'all have to get out here.
Yeah,
I was like, open the door. We're really far away still.
Yeah, we are on a highway right now. Should we really be getting out and walking? But
it was like a 30-minute walk back, if I remember right. From
all through that chaos.
Yeah,
the entire chaos that was going on. And so anyway, people were very aggressive too. Like that was very peculiar how like angry people were when their team had just won. So I didn't know what the anger was about. Anyway, that was crazy. And we haven't been back since, right? Have we been for anything since?
No, maybe. No, maybe not.
No, I can't think. I can't think of anything. Like nothing's going back to Denver. And Colorado's not the most favorable destination for for oil and gas just in general. So
we got our booth all set up there, and I don't think we haven't been back for another conference to that point. So
yeah. So we bought all the stuff for a booth. We put it in storage because Shirley will be coming right back to Denver for another conference. And that was now 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it still worked though, because ever since then, Nurtec's been in Houston and NAPE has been in Houston, and we've used our booth multiple times, mostly with really good results doing that. But so kind of back on our journey, I guess, one of the things we had touched on in the last one was how we released new dashboards in right around that time. And then we had hired some people. We had really started kicking some of our marketing up into high gear. I think that year we would do the PPDM conference. We would do the Urtec in Denver. We tried to get involved with more places and whatnot. And at the end of the day, I don't know that any of those things are super valuable. What do you think?
Yeah, it doesn't feel. I mean, looking back on them now, they always feel good in the moment. But when you go back and look at the ROI, it is hard to measure, from brand awareness and all that kind of thing. But overall, it doesn't feel like it.
No, I agree. It's a tough thing. I always thought that was one of the harder things about starting a business, was a perception of success versus reality. How many followers you have on LinkedIn, how big your booth is at a conference. People translate that into, oh, you must be doing well. And it's just not the same,
Right.
So, I mean, I had to train myself out of it personally. I know I'd look at it and like, why aren't we doing as good as these guys or this and that? We did grow some that year. We've grown every year, but we were able to get some decent sized clients leading into 23 into 24. Bringing on more people and stuff. It's especially remote. What do you think about that? What do you think about how remote work has worked out over the past 5-6 years that we've been doing it?
As we brought more on, it became a little bit of a challenge just on how we were approaching it, I think, at the time, because we brought them on and just kind of, I don't think we got together enough at the beginning. And so that's like something I would do differently right now. Like have almost like a boot camp kind of thing to really make sure everybody's on the same page and feel like they're part of the team. It's for them too, right? Because they just kind of get brought on into this person on the other end of the screen and thrown into the void. And if they're not used to that kind of thing, it's overwhelming, I think.
Right. No, I also think it's hard as founders because like we're like, you work all day. You get, you do things, you do whatever it needs to get done, and that's it. And then you hire people, and they're never going to have that same mentality. And so whenever you get remote workers, like the reality is that it's a job for them, and that's cool. And so now where we had like the insane flexibility of you and I, because our flexibility meant, are you working 20 or 16 hours today? For other people, it's like, oh, I only have to work 3 hours today and no one will notice. And like, it's it's not to say that that's normal, what happened most of the time, but you could see some of that. You start to get like, where is this person? Why isn't this done? That kind of stuff. And
I think yeah. And things do take longer, but when without a pulse, it's really hard to know exactly what's being done. And, they can be doing things and you just don't know it. And so it's really hard to find that pulse through a remote team.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, you're right. I mean, that's something that we do now. We, stand-ups and more common, more regular meetings and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of by accident got everyone together pretty quickly in the last group we hired and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, remote work for me, I guess I thought surely this was going to be easy. That, yeah, I don't, but that's a kind of so I guess that brings up another thing. Personalities play a really big role into do you succeed in remote work or not.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not even a knock on people. Some people just aren't built for it. Some people are built for in person. They like it. That's where they live and breathe. And so yeah, I think all those things. Yeah, too many companies are like making declarations one way or the other based off of their own experiences, when I think it's really more of a kind of one case by case.
It is case by case, but they're probably finding the average of how their teams work best. I don't know. They went real far one way, and then they tried to move to this middle thing, and now everybody's back to the office, right?
I really feel like that. Yeah, I think remote work feels like it's less and less common now.
Oh yeah, it seems like it's circled back pretty hard the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's peculiar, almost to the point now that I think some of these people, the newer people, are bringing on are like, oh yeah, this is in office, right? And you're like, I thought everyone assumed it was remote until you said. Anyway, no,
right. We'll say for us also, we kind of have done a lot of remote through our history, so I think for us it's not as daunting, you know what I mean? Like even before we had WellDatabase, both of us had done remote work and stuff. And so I don't know. I think that helped us be prepared for the remote work part of it all.
No, I do. I agree.
Another day, but
and there's another weird aspect to remote, and I didn't know why we're on remote so much, but still on the sales front, I find it like a really kind of weird thing. People want demos on Teams. They don't want you in the office to do a demo. In the past couple years, I can count on one hand the number of companies that are like, can you come by the office? And most of them literally don't want it. They would prefer just to stay remote. And then like I had the funny experience at one of our larger customers when they called to ask if I could come in. I'm like, sure, I'll come in. And I do. And we sit down in this big conference room, can probably hold 30 people in it. And there's like 2 people. I'm like, okay, everyone else is coming. And then I see on the screen that everyone's dialing in. And I'm like, oh, so everyone's remote. And I was like, so you guys, all the teams are still doing remote? And they're like, oh, no, they're just upstairs. They're calling in. And I was like, okay, that's what we're doing now. So,
yeah.
I don't know. We all became introverts in 2020.
Through COVID. Yeah, for sure.
So now everybody's like, no human interaction.
Yep.
But no, at the end of the day, I don't find it prohibitive on the sales front to be able to sell over remote. I think most people are cool with it. I think that the biggest events events are in person, and they seem like they've come. I don't know if they'll ever be back to what they were, but neither will the industry. The industry is different fundamentally today than it was 10 years ago.
So I think that the sales part, I think, will stay this way, which obviously the remote stuff, like you were just talking about, that was brought around through COVID, and I think it'll stick that way. People saw it's really not that much different, right? And so sometimes it's easier just to fit into schedules and security, like getting people into companies and things. There's all kinds of just.
Yeah, I went into a major company just a few months ago, and they made me watch a video before I could come to their office. It was
there you go.
Exactly. And I was like, what I have to, so they get an email, you've been pre-authorized to come into our office. You have to watch this safety video first. And I was like, are you serious? I have to watch a safety video before I can come to your office to meet somebody? I mean, and don't get me wrong. I know it's going to be like insurance requirements or something like that, but still, that was the first for me.
Is that like old school one with like the forklift and all of that, where the guy gets cut in half? And
I wish it was. I go back to thinking about the Saturday Night Live skit with Tom Brady, the sexual harassment video. That's I know that's larger. I do wonder what people think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I would love something like that. That would be great. So yeah, let's go back. We're in 23. We had to go to Denver. We hire some people. Yeah, what was our product doing at that time, you think? Can you rack your brain to think about what the product was doing in 23? Go 3 years ago.
Not particularly.
No, I feel like we were in a settling in phase. We had new team members.
Yeah.
I feel like most of that year I was paying back a lot of technical debt on the data side. I think I was spending a lot of time cleaning up some things and refining some things. And yeah, that's what I feel like. I know we would roll out a bunch of new items. I don't know when like the customizable dashboards rolled. I don't know.
That was right around then. That was 23 first quarter of 23 actually, now that I think about it.
Okay.
So that would have been
yeah, that was a pretty cool thing that we were able to do because, we had all these dashboards and we had gone from just having production dashboards to these kind of pre-built ones. And then all of a sudden we're like adding additional segments. There's pivot tables and you got the histogram and the time series and then it was never enough. So like, let's make some custom dashboards.
Right. Everybody wants to slice it up all differently, and we'd already had these pieces, and it's like, well, we can make it so easy for users to see what they want to see, and then obviously make our own more advanced ones into that.
Yeah, so I feel like we were making kind of some incremental changes around those because we did make some pretty awesome dashboards that kind of I've always struggled with this idea that which wells are better, who's the better operator, and like you're looking at half the picture if you're looking at production, and so the dashboards gave us some more flexibility with that. But dashboards, yeah, everyone loves a dashboard. I think it wasn't too long after. I think we were getting into early 24 when we made our new M&A projects, the ones that allowed you to do the dynamic offset searches and stuff like that. The idea behind
That's right.
We did that with NAPE that year in 24. I feel like. So yeah, it was I think we did a lot of housekeeping, I think we were trying to get ourselves like kind of firmly for growth. And I think that probably lent to a little bit, we were very busy, you and I, on things. And so I know I wasn't necessarily wanting to manage people a lot at the time. I wanted to get these items off our list, the things to do.
Yeah. It's different than we had been operating. And so, it was kind of a shift in gears there for a little bit to try and kind of figure it all out.
Yeah. So in that vein, as we started bringing people on, like what in your head do you think about managing people versus before managing people? Like, what did you think it was going to be like versus what it was like?
Well, I thought there'd be a lot taken off the plate, but that never really happens because it's just different stuff on your plate, perhaps, right? So there's still a lot of stuff to do in everybody, and you can do more, but your stuff's just different, which is fine. But that's a little bit of a mental shift. There's a lot of meetings. We had a lot more meetings. We kind of had a meeting explosion there for a little while, which was rough for not my favorite, and rough for just like the mental shift between before a meeting, preparing for the meeting, sitting through it, and then all of the takeaways from each different meeting, and then getting back on track to what you had planned to do for the day was pretty disruptive. So we worked through that. I mean, that was just self-induced, I think, but
yeah, well, no, it's a thing though. It's like I get it, especially because we are a smaller company and we're bootstrapped, and I think you and I are just so hardwired now towards efficiency because that's how we got this far. We can't waste our time when there's just two of us doing things. And so as we brought more people on, they wanted to meet and talk about this and that and the other. And honestly, like, I'm the worst at talking. I really am. And I know that. And so that's why I don't like meetings. Because I'll just, when I'm in it, that's where I'm at. And I'm going to yammer about what's going on, the weather. How do we all talk about the weather so much? What is wrong with us?
Yeah, you definitely would extend the meetings. It's like, okay, this could have been 15 minutes, but whatever.
Yeah, but John's in it. So it's never John's happened. In it. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, it's not lost on me, by the way. So, But yeah, it is tough though, because having people, having worked with people in the past, and being just a part of a bigger machine, me being a manager of people or something like that, we were all kind of be holding up the ladder. But when it was you and I, like, we're kind of the head of it all, then all of a sudden it's like everyone's looking to us for everything, and we want to just be like, go figure it out. But I think we found that didn't work very well.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. It was, take things and run with it, but they do want to make sure that you like what they're running with. I think they want to be seen and stuff. It's all perfectly reasonable. It's just was kind of not I think what we expected.
Right. No, and that's to me. I think I had just, even we talked to these people whenever we did interviews. We were like, this is remote, it's self-paced, like you have to like get up and go. We're not going to babysit you. We're not going to look over your shoulder. We're not going to sit there and ask you what you're doing every 5 minutes. And everyone in the interview was like, oh yeah, that's great. I'm good. And then they get in the building and they're like, well, what do you think about if I take a restroom break? You're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, no. It's not exact. I mean, but I'm obviously exaggerating, but it's a thing. And I understand it though. People want feedback. They want to know that they're moving in the right direction, doing the right things, and it aligns with everything else. And
absolutely.
When we are this small and like they interact straight with us, I think that's part of it too. So,
but nobody wants to get to the end and have the wrong thing built. So that the constant sense, but it's just, we already have a lot going on too, like I was saying. And so it's like, it's hard to balance it all.
And it's also really hard. I mean, again, just being completely, transparent, like you and I, of course, I think we got used to working really fast and also working, however long it took to get things done. And, no one is ever going to be like the founders. That's just how it's going to be, and shouldn't expect them to be. They're better in other ways. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway is like lean in on what they are better at and don't expect them to be like you.
No, absolutely. That's a big thing that we kind of found. So,
And so, today, fast forward all the way to today, which I don't know if we have another one between today and this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Like, I think that we've kind of found a formula. And then the other aspect to that formula is that it's something I think all founders struggle with. Like, who do you hire first? Like, when it's just you and me, right? There is sales, marketing, accounting, the programming front end, the back end, that had to
which
be
one,
done.
which one? Yeah. It's all got to be done. Which one's going to take the most, off your plate, really? But it's just going to be filled with other stuff.
And so, I would say that I actually still to this day cannot tell you definitively, should you take the thing off your plate that eats the most time? Should you take the thing off the plate that you're worst at? Or should you take the thing off the plate that you're actually best at because you can train people more easily that way? I don't have one. I mean, I know Buy Back Your Time will give you a list of who you hire, but
that's what I was gonna say. That one, didn't it say like the what you do best at, keep doing, and the stuff that's keeping you from doing that?
Things that are valuable and things that give you energy. And so that's what they say. And the things that are not valuable and don't give you energy, get rid of them. Things that give you energy, even if they're not valuable, okay. The best ones are the things that are valuable and give you energy. So I can agree with that a lot, honestly. There are things that are just that I dread. I sit there and like, I don't want to do this right now. So that does make some sense. But hiring people, it just changes. I think I read one time someone referred to being a manager versus a worker as like the guy who's playing the video game or the guy sitting next to the guy playing the video game telling him how to play it. Like, which one do you want to do? And I don't know.
Yeah, but at our size, it's got to be a little bit of both. That was pretty accurate of how it felt. And so I felt like we did get there. And so there is some bumps along the way and I guess the efficiency and things we were, doing, and things did slow a little bit just because there was just that, I guess, growing a little bit, and learning, finding our way there.
Yeah. I mean, because, there were aspects of things because all of a sudden we were finding ourselves focusing one way or another, focusing on one employee or another or one thing or another. I felt like everything got slower. and we just had to
go slow to go fast, but got to get through there.
Absolutely. And so, hiring people is a whole thing. I feel like that's an area that everybody thinks, or I know I thought that if we could just make enough money and hire some people, it would be good. And then we make enough money and hire some people, and it felt like it was harder. So weird stuff, but live and learn, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. So that takes us through 2023 and into 24. We held on. We had the exact same team. We hired a few people in 23, and we all went through 24. I don't think anything in particular was going on in the industry at that time. I think it was a fairly tame time.
23, we had our first users group meeting, right? Was that 23 or 24?
Ooh, 24. In
September, okay.
We had a user group meeting. That was good to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think we were hoping for more actionable insight.
It was 23. It had to be 23.
I mean, we are on the same page, right? We both were hoping a little bit more actionable insight out of it, and it seemed like it was a little bit of a blur. And
yeah, it was. Yeah, for sure.
How would you do that differently?
I thought we did really good. I thought it was good. We had a good turnout for the first one. We went over a lot of the stuff. I feel like, I guess we didn't get a lot. Maybe what we said, everybody liked. So like, I thought there would be more back and forth on things, but it was more of us just talking to them and people liking that. And that was kind of it. I guess we were looking for a little more feedback perhaps. And I'm not even sure we actually posed the question enough on what do you think, right?
Yeah, but we got into those small groups and we started to try and talk, but then we cut out of those too quickly too.
Yeah.
You got a few things out of that.
I think in the small group, I think by the time everybody started getting comfortable talking, it was like time to go. So maybe it was just too fast, all of it.
That's what I was going to say.
Too many presentations and not enough of the talking.
Yeah, if you could set aside an entire day for it, I think you might be better. But then again, that's a lot to ask of people.
And a future one maybe. So our first one, we just didn't know how it was going to go. So we were like, let's just do like a short thing and see what happens, see how it goes. So
yeah, absolutely. No, so the user group meeting that was good. It was at Top Golf. I think we had a good, like you said, a good turnout. It was. I think we'll do another one this year. That was a plan, right? Which is why I thought it was 24 because it's 26.
I think you're right. I'm thinking back about it. It was 24. Yeah.
Okay.
It's over here in my head, like turning. I'm like, yeah, no, it's 24.
So yeah, at 24, we did that. But again, the industry got into a little bit. We got into a little bit of a lull at that point in time. Our sales slowed down at the end of 24. It was really peculiar. I didn't see a reason for it at all.
Yeah.
It was, we still grew. We were still able to be profitable, all the things that we kind of hang our hat on, but still we weren't seeing the traction increase. It kind of lulled a bit. And so, we got into 25 and ended up making some changes around what we were doing and how we were going towards things. And
right.
Did we go to NAPE in 25? We did, didn't we?
NAPE 25, yes.
We did. That was the first time we went to NAPE, and we did not go to ERTEC in 25 because...
That's right. We sponsored in 25, like we sponsored a technical
session room.
Yeah, session room. That's right.
So
that was the first time we went to NAPE.
Yep. And so the NAPE conference there went pretty well. Again, I just wish ROI was something that was better calculated for some of this stuff.
Speaking of NAPE, didn't in 24 you had done something at somebody else's booth, right?
Yeah, at 24, I went down and we did at the Energy News Beat with Stu Turley and
that's right.
We and Michael there. We did all of that, and that was. I don't know. It's one of those things. You go there, you have all these grand ideas, and you get there, and then it's just chaos. And so you're like, we were supposed to do interviews, we were supposed to do live deal evaluations, and all this stuff. There was no time. It was just like I said,
just
chaos.
So busy, right? Yeah.
Just people going nonstop. So yeah, that was good, and it was. I think that's what spurred us to go ahead in 25 to get an actual booth. And
that's what I was saying. You were like, it was so busy, we should just go ahead and do a booth. I think it's a good audience here for us. So we went ahead and splurged on it. And I think it went well. Again, with the measuring ROIs, it's always hard, but the booth was busy.